Okay, hello there, great person, and welcome to this not live review, which is a very shame because I would have loved to discuss it with you. Like I just came from the stream, my computer's now very hot, so I guess it was the computer. I need to get a new one. So if I have a new one, I will stream again. But unfortunately, I can't. We'll have to do it like this. So that's it. I will just try to do my best to incorporate your comments that you wrote down, and I will, in the end, go through all the comments on the season videos, and I will use those to interact with you. So I hope everything you wanted to discuss is there, and I will just use them. But yeah, first let's start with the overall review of the show. The thumbnail is asking the question: was it good? Yes, it was good. So if you just wanted to hear my opinion on that, it was good, but not for a book reader, I think. Because I've spent the last 4 days now thinking about it. I thought a lot about it because, like, you know how passionate I am about Wheel of Time. I'm currently at book 4, chapter 37. I will start reading again soon on the channel here. But I just love the books, love them to death already, and yeah, I want to. I want to get at this from a book reader perspective, because I'm a book reader halfway through, and I hope you don't hear my child crying too much. She's probably getting her diapers changed right now. Anyway, so it was like, if I would have been a show only, I would have loved it. I would have loved it so much, because the thing I would criticize about it most is that the themes that were there were not as good as the themes in the books, but there were themes there, and save for one or two things, they were very well done, very well pulled through the episodes, and there was stuff there that was good. Like, I will get more into it later, but for example, let's take Moiraine and Lan. I wouldn't have known that. Like, Moiraine was a horrible person, yes, and I still think she was a cow. But in principle, the arc works as, like, if you don't know what happens. Like, you would now think, okay, Moiraine is this character, she's out of her depth and whatever. You know, it's like, it's fine. Or the Egwene stuff in the end, like, she ends Rhaena. She does. And if I would have not known what happens in the book, I would be like, yes, man, slay that A-bag. Like, you know, it's like, I get that. I completely get why people love the second season, because you've all told me in the comments, people like it. And I can see why. I can really see why. And something I also really, really want to stress about this season, and season 1 as well, to some extent, is that, save for some writing choices, it is an almost perfect show. Like, the costumes are on point, the acting is on point, and the sets are on point, the visuals are mostly on point, the soundtrack is so good. Like, there is, save for some writing choices, not, like, you know, I liked it a lot. Like, it's a very good show, save for some writing choices which could have been better. So that is in general my thought about the question, was it good? I also think that's a stupid question, by the way, because, like, is it good or is it bad? Like, you can't be like, it's one or the other, it's somewhere in between. I would say it's very, very far on the good side. And if I switch out my book reader mind, I would give it a 9 out of 10, I think. 9.5 or 9 out of 10. Like, there were one or two logical things where I was like, okay, this doesn't work. But other than that, it's a 9 out of 10 for someone who hasn't read the books. It is. It is. That begs the question, though, should we follow the books more, or should we continue down this road? I, for myself, hope we don't. I hope we will get more book stuff into the show. I also think it's not possible anymore, almost. One of the biggest criticisms there is, I have, and I think I have two very, very, very big criticisms of the show, where I'm coming from a book reader perspective. And I have to say that the core theme to me of Wheel of Time is friendship. That is the core theme for me, currently in book 4. Like, what do I know? I don't know. Perhaps it will change. But the core theme is there are friends, they work together. They are friends, they are friendly with each other, they like spending time with each other, they have wholesome little moments, they eat in inns and taverns, they travel on roads, they talk to each other, they bicker a bit, they have their falling outs, but they come back together, you know, this very wholesome, very not community-like theme. Like, it's the theme of you are not alone. People are with you. People will help you. Sometimes you will not like the people that help you, but like in general, you're with people that help you. You travel your life with these people. Some of you have tasks, or all of you have tasks. The tasks are burdens you have, but your friends will be there in some capacity to help you. That for me is currently what Wheel of Time is about. Like, there are other things, of course, but that's like my main thing. And in the show, that is not the main theme. It is not. And I think that's why I'm in part so mad. Or I'm not mad. I'm not. Why I was so mad. Why there were scenes where I got really mad. For example, the tower stuff with Elaine and Egwene and Nynaeve. I do not have the feeling in the show that they are friends. They are characters who interact. They have their own goals. I can pretty much tell what their goals are, I think, in the show. Like, they're clear. Like, Gwen wants to be a good Aes Sedai. Elaine wants to be more in touch with other people because she didn't have friends when she was young. And Nynaeve is very headstrong, doesn't want to channel, doesn't want to go under the structure of the tower, tries her best not to do it, but realizes that she's kind of powerless like that, and that's her problem. Like, those are the core 3 things these 3 characters have. They don't interact and help each other with that a lot. There was the Egwene and Nynaeve bickered, and like Nynaeve listened at the door or something. Like, that went against this theme of friendship there. Like, it broke in, and I never had the feeling that the goals the character had were really shared with each other, and they tried to ask each other, like, what do you think? What would you do? Like, can you help me here? Like, the most striking thing about it was Nynaeve and Elaine in Falme. Nynaeve was so mean to Elaine, and it fit her show character. It fit. It does. I'm not criticizing the writing in the way that it didn't fit, it didn't make sense. It made sense. Nynaeve was like that in the show. She was portrayed like that. And I get her in the show. Show Nynaeve makes sense in that situation, but there was no friendship. I do not buy Elaine and Nynaeve being friends. Not even when the arrow in the knee situation happened. I don't buy it. Don't. And I don't think they... No, that's too harsh. I don't think they mind. Let's say it like, I don't think they mind that I don't buy it, because they don't care about that. It's not their thing they want to relay to us. The thing they want to relay to us is, you are strong if you want it. If you work for it, perhaps even. You're strong, you can do anything. Alone, you don't need people. And that is like the most apparent with Egwene, but also with Moiraine. With Moiraine, it's a bit subverted because Lan finds out the Nott thing, but until that point, it was all Moiraine thinks she's on her own. In the end, it doesn't work. So perhaps I could even give the show that they wanted to have Moiraine and Egwene as like same motivations. Once it works, once it doesn't. If you have that itinerary, or whatever you say, no, I don't think that's the right word. If you have that goal with the show to show that, then that just works. Like, Egwene is her own thing. She manages to pull through on her own. It works. Moiraine tries to be on her own. Doesn't work. Like, she gets pretty close, but in the end, it's Lan that has to save her, so to speak. So they basically took their Gwen is getting saved because they wanted this powerful, I can save myself thing. So that's how I see it now. So that's their theme. Rand as well. Rand has to Rand wants to save Gwen and manages to get there. Like, he doesn't save her, and it's like, yeah, you didn't need saving, but like, he wanted to do something on his own, he succeeded. He wanted to stab a Shamil, he succeeded. I don't know what Elaine and Nynaeve did. They didn't need to succeed, but they would have succeeded as well because they went up the tower. You know, they all got to where they wanted to be. Perhaps that's a bit iffy what I just said, but you know, that's the feeling I have. And that's what I mean with the themes. Like, these themes are there, but I think the theme of friendship is a lot more important. And we will get more into this, I think, when we get to Egwene, because there's something I want to hear your opinion about, and I would have loved to hear it in the stream. I wanted to so badly to ask you these questions, so I guess you can perhaps put them in the comments and I will answer. I'm very sorry I can't do it live. I would, because there's so much I want to ask you, but I guess my internet is shit, so yeah. So there are themes in the show, and they were themes that were pretty stringent in most parts, save for Elaine and Nynaeve, really, if we are honest. But and Rand, anyway, we get through that. But all in all, there were themes. They were put through the season, and in the end, they worked in a way, and they produced cool-looking scenes. So I guess and the visuals were awesome. Still don't like the horn. It was a bit underwhelming, but we will get to that as well. But yeah, so that's my view on the season. I enjoyed a lot of it. I have to admit, I enjoyed episodes 6 and 7, as I said, most. Even though they were not and I enjoyed parts that were not close to the book. In that, the Rima stuff, we will get into that as well. I loved that. One of my favorite bits wasn't in the books. So it's not that I'm a show hater or book purist or something. There are just scenes I would have liked to be different thematically, if that makes sense. What was really, really well done. The best 2 parts of the whole show for me was best part is without I think it was perfect, as close as to perfect as it could get. Perrin was so awesome, loved it. They changed some stuff, I don't care. It was well done. I like the shamanic undertones they gave him, with Hopper and the visuals. Awesome, brilliant stuff. Nailed Perrin. Loved the Dane stuff. Man, it was so good. I don't even know, I think Dane has not yet appeared in the book, so I guess they will have a problem with each other. And I'm so sad they do, but it all made so much sense. Also him, Hopper being killed by Joffrey made sense a lot because he wanted to protect his man, Walder. What was he supposed to do? Walder is his questioner, or a questioner from the White Cloaks. He has to save him. He kills Hopper, and then Perrin goes on his rampage. And I'm sad it's not Perrin's first kill, I think. I actually don't know. Can someone confirm that? Is that Perrin's first kill? That was so meaningful. That was the problem. His wolfness made him end someone's life. And that's why he grapples with it so much. And I hope they do that in season 3 because they laid the groundwork. Dane's acting was awesome when his father died. His 2 rivers, no. It was awesome stuff. Loved that. So good. Seanchan in general, save for the tower, where they put all the Damana on for some reason. But I also have to give that credit. They acknowledge that. The Seanchan put all the Damana on the tower gets nuked. They acknowledge it. It was their mistake. It was them being dumb, as I pointed out, but they are aware and they showed it. The Seanchan were in over their heads with the White Cloaks. That was also a bit better than in the books. In the books, we didn't really know who would have won. It is a bit implied that it's the White Cloaks for me, but that's debatable. So here the White Cloaks just washed over them and, in principle, ended them. They did. The White Cloaks won here. Loved that. Man, it was so awesome. Turak was awesome. Suroth was awesome. The detail, the cultural things with the nails, the costumes, it was so well done. Loved the Seanchan stuff. I am okay with the Renner stuff being toned down. I will talk about that as well, of course, but it could have been worse. And there are some thematic choices I disagree with a bit, but like it worked. And to sum up this general review, perhaps, and we will get into details more now. It wasn't. I guess it was. If I would have been a show only, I would have loved it. 9 out of 10 or 9.5 out of 10, and I still appreciate a lot of it. Like I was when I edited episode 8 reaction, I remembered like, oh god, I raged so much, I was so unfair, but in the end I like criticized 3 scenes, 3. So the rest of the episode I liked as well, 4. I like most of it as well. So I think I got tainted a bit by my rage. So there were 2 weaknesses for me in the season, 2 big ones, and I will talk about them now. And we will get into the characters now. So I prepared tier maker list. Yeah, so I hope you can see this. So I went on the wiki, shoutouts to the wiki, and there were portraits of all the characters. And we're gonna put them into tiers, and we will discuss how much I liked each of them. Because if I have criticisms, it is there's only one plot criticism I have. It's a big one, but I have only one. I only have character things I didn't enjoy as a book reader that is in book 4. So like that's where I'm coming from, and we will just discuss some good and bad stuff. Like we've got the tier perfection, which is like characters I thought were wow, so good, better than in the books even perhaps. And then we have got in the end why. So we will just put them in and have some fun with it. So we will start with Elena. So Elena, season 2 Elena. I actually think she was pretty good. I did not like the jokes they made, and you saw that, and I will not discuss it again that much. The jokes fell flat for me. I get some people might like stuff like that, but for me it fell flat. Also, in the end, when she had the scene with her one warder, where she like touched his face and was very like caring and stuff, that was very good as well. Like that was exactly how I liked the relationship to be portrayed. Like starting from them suspecting Rand of being a dark friend, they were awesome tier, but because there was the weird sexual stuff that randomly was dropped in for comedy, I have to give them only a pretty good. Like, but Elena's like, I like the actress, I like all the actors, the actress was good, loved the stuff she did in episode 6, 7, and 8, like she's shown there. Would have loved the first 3 episodes or whatever not to be like that, like they have been with her. They undervalued her, I feel. So she would have been an awesome if it would have been just 6, 7, 8. Elena. So, but because of the dumb shit in the beginning, I have to give her a pretty good. So I enjoyed her in the end, I really did. Who's this? Oh, Morin's sister, whose name I don't know. She was really awesome. I absolutely loved the arc with the Damodreds. That was so well done. I loved it. I didn't like that Moraine was a cow, but if I accept that she's a cow, like it will fit. Like there was I felt they were a real family and had troubles. I loved that. I still think Moraine was portrayed too good. Like she did really effed up stuff to her family here as well, and they never really acknowledged it. I didn't like that, but I really liked this character. She was scheming, she was hurt, vulnerable in parts, she had her reasons. She was a good person. We learned that when her son turned out to be a dark friend, that was awesome. We get to him, but like we understood that she was trying to be a good person. She wanted to rule. She wanted to rule then through her son. But we learned that in her core, she's a good person. So like from her perspective, being the ruler or being the mother of the ruler was a good thing, because she wanted to this is interpretation, she wanted to make the country better, a better place. She wanted to improve Carrion. Loved that. And she was nuanced. Acting, I mean, the actress, I don't know what her name is, but like her Doctor Who acting was so on point in Waters of Mars. I loved her. Adelaine Brooke, one of my favorite Doctor Who characters, and so on point. I did not like her a lot in the Des Damas stupid random scene where Rand was. We will get to that. She was just a side character there, but when it was like revealed she was with Moiraine and all that stuff, brilliantly done, realistically done, subtly done. And she was like, her high point was in 6 and 7, and then she disappeared because like her plot was over. So she really did not have a flat landing in the end, so to speak. I don't know if you say it like that. I loved that. Like, her arc came full circle, and in the end it was perfect. She was left behind, so to speak, by the story, and it was a brilliant arc. Okay, Arthur Hawkwing existed. Why? Like, I could have put him in white here, but that was so sad. Man, he looked so awesome. The helmet was so awesome. And this is basically me also discussing all the heroes of the Horn. Like, this is a stand-in for them. And someone in the comments said, and we will, when I read through the comments, we will go there, but he should have been prepared. Mates, are you stupid? One of the writing flaws. And that was a flaw of the first episodes. And most of the flaws I see are in the first 2 or 3 episodes where they drop the ball on some stuff. Like, and this is something in the writing I criticize, where they should have done more. Because they had this awesome actor, they had so much attention to details with the heroes. Like, you could see who was who. Birgitte, like, you could see her, like, I could spot her. She didn't even say something. Like, you saw her once in the heroes, and then she shot an arrow. She was so good, well cast. I want more of her. I wanted to be like, so there's the Horn. As someone suggested, Tom should have told us in season 1 the story of the Horn to prepare it. Should have done that. Tom was a perfect candidate for that. Arthur Hawkwing, the great king that united the country, but in the end tragically died, a hero. And if you blow the horn, it is said he comes back with his heroes of all ages. Like, this was like, he blew the horn, and I think this was probably a better scene than for the television people, because I recognized some characters. Like, in the TV, I imagine they would have, I have not seen reactions yet. I will probably watch some, but like, I want to be influenced by people, so my television only thing would have been, okay, there are people there and now they fight them. That's a nice, cool, handy tool. In the books, it was this great thing, the horn, the thing that like calls these heroes, and they just wash over the Seanchan ships and destroy all of them. But they had to have Moiraine do that here. Okay, I mean, I got that they... I think it was a decision I don't necessarily agree with, to take the... Basically, they took what the heroes did and let Moiraine do it. That's basically what they did. So they wanted to give Moiraine more of a spotlight. I think Moiraine should have done the thing she did, and then they should have like gone onto the sea and destroyed the fleeing Seanchan as well. But I don't know. We will get more into the hunt though later. I will just leave it at that here. Arthur Hawkwing, unfortunately, even though brilliantly cast, looked the part, all the heroes looked the part, like, they fought a bit, like, but they basically were there to end like 5 mooks. Like 5 random people on the wall that Matt was facing. It was so sad. Like, their influence was not big in the battle. Not as great as I would have loved it to be. But yeah, again, like, brilliant casting, brilliant costumes and all, but existed. I think this is Aviendha. Aviendha is at least awesome. I think Aviendha for me is she awesome or pretty good? Yeah, she's awesome. She's a lot better than Alanna. Aviendha was awesome. Like, not much to say about her here, unfortunately, because she did not do a lot. But the way she introduced the Aiel culture through the story, I loved it. Casting was very good as well. Like, she looked the part, and I see a lot of potential in her, and they have not wasted that yet. Like, there was like the Aiel stuff. Oh yeah. Aside from the Seanchan stuff as well, the Aiel stuff was so on point. Loved it. So, Aviendha, brilliantly done. Can't wait for more in season 3. I want more of her. Brilliant actress. She fit the part. I liked her interactions with Perrin. And you got the Aiel feeling so much from her. Loved her. You know what? Let's do it like this. So there are Ben and Chiad. Ben and Chiad were pretty good. Like, I cannot say a lot of them. Like with Aviendha, I like the way they fought. Choreography as well. Yeah, didn't go over that. Fighting choreography, awesome in this show, awesome. save for the murder stuff with Lan. That was a bit weak, but it was also dark. Yeah, but Bane and Shiad, like, they also brought the Aiel culture out a lot. Same arguments as for with Avienda, but they were not as much in it. And that's why I didn't get to know them yet. I love them in the books, but they were also like a bit sidey in the books, like side character like. So I will put them in pretty good, but they were pretty good. Barthanas. Yeah, Barthanas is my first perfection. Man, that dude, Jesus Christ. Acting-wise, awesome. The plot twist, should have seen it coming. But they made him so much more meaningful than in the books. He had a conscience. He was like, I did this because I want my mother to be proud, because I want to achieve what I was born to be, because I was raised like that, and I did everything I could, but I didn't know like any further what to do. So I turned to the Dark One, I swore my oaths, and it worked. And now we have achieved what we wanted, and I will be a good king. I think he wants that. I don't think he's like evil dark friend like in the books. He wants to be a good king. He just used means that are not good, and he was prepared to follow that up a bit. Like, he was in this trap now. He's now a dark friend. He's in this trap, which is also why I would have loved, by the way, for Inca to show you can get out if you want to. Anyway, we'll get to that. But Thana is perfect. Man, Jesus, I loved him so much. And then in the end, he's just revealed to be a dark friend to the queen, and all his plans are gone, and he's sad, and you get him. I got him. Like, man, what a great character. Perfection. Barthanas was one of the best improvements from the book. So good. Bail Dormon. Bail Dormon was pretty good, actually. I liked him. Like, he was a bit too dumb in the first scene he was in, but I loved that they brought him back. Like, they teased him with the Rhymer dialogue of the ship captain she hired. And he was, again, with Lanfair. That scene was so cool because he was like, he knew her as an innkeeper. She was clearly like a noblewoman now. Suddenly he didn't even he was like, okay, man, are you safe? Are you okay? Will you be safe? And he cared for her. I loved that little twinkle he had. In the books as well, like when the Seanchan came and he promised the Gwen and Elaine to wait, he waits and he goes off on his crew. And like this twinkle of him was very well captured in this interaction with Lanfear. I loved that, man. That was so good. But he had 2 scenes. So he cannot be higher. Like, he would have probably been an awesome if he would have been more in season 1. Anyway. Bazan, I think he's called Bazan. The Warder of Rhymer. He was fine. What can I say? He's a new character, I think, and he was fine. And he was sympathetic, I liked him, but he didn't really do a lot. Like, he, fought and died. I mean, he fought valiantly, 2 people, and then he died. He wasn't a good fighter, I think. Like he was a good fighter because he's Warder, of course, but he wasn't top tier. But, I mean, he was fine. I guess he was fine. I can't say more about him. Liked him, but, yeah. Dane was awesome. I liked him more than Avienda. Didn't like him more than Moraine's sister, though. And you have to keep in mind, I think, and I might misremember, but I don't remember him in the books. I think I've only heard his name mentioned by Jotham sometimes. So this is my introduction to him. I loved him. Awesome actor. Like the way he acted with Matt, amicable, wanted to be his friend in a way, was interested in him, showed personality, went up against Walder. All this nuanced stuff, cared for his father. His father was the commander and he was the young apprentice, so to speak, still in the little scene they had in episode 8, where he still asked him stuff and his father taught him and he respected his father and they had such a good father-son bond. And it made so much sense that he went off on Perrin and he even let Perrin go. He let Perrin go and then Perrin ended his father through circumstances that were logical. So now he has to live with that guilt, and I hope they put it in the next season. I love the Perrin-Dane dynamic. I love it. It was so well done. Love it. Brilliant stuff. Walder was fine. I mean, he's Walder. He was in 2 scenes again. He was with Smug Abag. I don't care for him, actually. I care more for him in the show than in the books. In the books, he's a questioner. Okay, he's doing evil stuff. I don't know. He's fun in the show, but he's just fine. I don't really care for him. I liked the line Dane had with him being afraid of wolves now. That was funny. He got attacked by Hopper as well. Like, he got owned again. It was funny again. Like, he's just the guy who gets owned after this one cool moment in season 1, I guess. Like that. But he's just fine. Like, he's fine. It's water. Oh god, a Gwen. Oh shit. Yeah. A Gwen. A Gwen. I will have to be a little bit, I don't know what to say, but if it had been episodes 1 to 7, she would have been perfection. And really good. But she's in Y for me. And if I was a show only, she would be in perfection. Like, she would be probably first place or second place in perfection. Second place, I think. She would have been second place in perfection. Loved her then. But because she killed Renna, and she acted like she knew she could do that, she's in Y. Because I'm coming from a book perspective. The thing here was the thing I talked about before, the friendship thing. The meaningful thing with Egwene in this book was Egwene didn't know who she was. She like imitated people like Nynaeve, Moraine when they were on the road. That was not in the show, so like, but I just want to put it out there. Like, that was how I saw her, and I remember her from the audiobook as well. And when she was a Damane, she was broken. She was down. She didn't know what to do. Like, she was like, she had like, she was like, and they showed that with the cup in a way. She was broken. She needed someone. She needed her friends. And her friends were coming. And then she does it herself, which is the first thing I hated. Because again, from a show perspective, it's brilliant. Like, she's a strong person that, like, you know, but for me, this, I think in my episode reaction, I ranted a lot that I didn't like I thought she was a boring character. I revised that. Like, I was a bit wrong there, I think, or unfair. It was a good character. Like, she's now a very strong character who can do stuff on her own because she's a powerful magician and has a lot of willpower, even though some of the things were questionable with how the colors worked, but fine, whatever. But she didn't need her friends. That is my main criticism here. She didn't need her friend, and she's now a character that doesn't need friends. And that's why I put her in Y. That's the sole reason. Because now she doesn't need anyone. And I don't like that. It goes against what I love about Wheel of Time. That's why she's in Y. If I was show only, she would be perfection. She would be like willful, strong character. She would, for my taste, be a bit too much like Nynaeve season 1. Basically, she's what Nynaeve in season 1 was. And there was this weird switch in an episode, and I noted it in my reactions. There was this switch where I started to get the feeling she knows she's getting out. And that was, for me, a writing mistake, I think. That was a mistake for me. I shouldn't have gotten that feeling. So, before, she should have played along a bit more. Like, when she said to Renna, I will end you or something. Yes, if you want to make her a willful, strong character, that is okay. But to me, she was in a situation where saying that would have meant her death, potentially. And I did not have the feeling that she was prepared for that. She was just angry. You know, I don't know. I would have liked more there. But, so that's why she's in Y. She's in perfect, like, episode 1 to 7, Egwene is in 7, in perfection. But 8 made it that I have to say why, because the theme was not there of friendship. I would have loved the theme of friendship more here. And let me know what you thought of this. Yeah. Elaine was awesome. If she had managed to save, yeah, that's the right spot. Elaine is awesome. If she had managed to save Egwene, she would have been perfection. Like, casting-wise, acting-wise, dialogue-wise as well in most parts, she was brilliant. I like that they used her as Hermione a bit, like she explained stuff, which made sense because she's the daughter of the queen. Like, she was a character I hoped they would get right, and they did really get her right. but because in the end she was useless. But she was more useful than Nynaeve. Like, she healed Rand at least that. Like, you know. So she's awesome. She did something meaningful. So if she wouldn't have been there, Rand would have perhaps died. So she had a meaning in the end. So I like that. So I think I cannot say a lot about her. I praised her a lot in my reactions already. She's good. I hope the actress is in more stuff. Yeah, people have commented that they didn't like the Elaine in the light moment with Rand in the end. Like, I get it. It's a bad moment. It was so bad it's good. But I just liked it because for me, yes, it was a cheesy, badly cinematographed or whatever you say moment. And it was cliche and stupid. But there was this sprinkle of wholesomeness that I missed in the season, which is why I reacted to it so positively. Like, I know it's cliche and stupid, but there was something positive in there. And I liked that. That's why I reacted. I just wanted to put that out again. So to clear that up. Because some people were like, yeah, that was the worst moment in the episode. It was random. It was. It was a random moment that never met. Why is he reacting? They probably will do a stupid love triangle now in season 3. Hope they will not. Because he's still with a Gwen in his mind, which is weird. Though he should have let go. Or perhaps not. Like, he let go in season 1 in the end. Season 2, he just wanted to save her. And I will just now, until I see otherwise, assume it's because she's his best friend. So I hope they will not do a love triangle. So yeah, that's all I want to say about Elaine. Got an arrow to the knee. It was pretty funny as well. I actually liked she was close to perfection. She was close to perfection. Yeah, she was. I think she deserves this spot, yeah. Elias. Oh man. I am sorry he existed. Or is he fine? I don't know. He didn't do anything in the end. He or is he pretty? I don't know. Elias is so hard for me. In the end, he just gave Hopper to Perrin to make Perrin antagonistic to Dane, like story-wise. Like, yeah, he was. You know what? He was pretty good. He was actually pretty good. Like the shamanic stuff he did, like the stuff he did, I love. Like, just him as a character. Like, he just was there to save Perrin once, and because he was in the books, I guess he will probably do more in the future. Some people have teased it. I don't know. So he might do something in the future. We'll see. And yeah, I think pretty good is okay. Like, I enjoyed him. Like, I enjoyed him, but like plot-wise, he didn't do anything. You know what? I enjoyed him. He was pretty good. Errol was awesome. I would put Errol here, I think. You will probably shout at me why, but he had only like 3 scenes, but the way they depicted PTSD was awesome. Man, the writing on him was on point. Perfect. You know what? Yeah. I think you will probably all be like, what the frig is he on about? Errol was the best show-only character we ever had, I think. Yes, I think so. Because he was there to he served a purpose. He taught Lan sword fighting. Rand sword fighting. He cannot sword fight a bit. But he was also there to get Rand to Logain. Even though that technically led to nothing, but you know, he was there. He was there to show the horrors of the Aiel War and the horrors of war. And that's the theme I love. If you know my own writing, you know that's something I find important. Like the horrors of war and what it does to you. And the way he encapsulated that, man, it was so good. I loved every scene of those. I will put him in the perfection. You can debate me on that in the comments. You know, this is something I would have loved to talk to you in the live stream with you, but anyway. Joffrey was also awesome. Like, you know what? Joffrey was also perfection. Like, he had small scenes. Like, he was not this big character, but I got exactly the feelings I got from him as in the book. He tried to do the best. He was a child of the light, so he was still against the Aes Sedai. They could have done a bit more with that, perhaps, but like, he had limited screen time. He was in like 3 scenes, and he nailed them. They were so good, his scenes. Like, you got this, exactly the presence I felt like in the book, like I had in the book. And I think he is actually perhaps the best adaptation of a book character yet. And I loved him. Just loved him. Sad that he died. He had a more meaningful death as well here in the show. I like that as well. I like that he, like, the White Cloak stuff again was improved, and his death now had a meaning. It brought Perrin's character to a new direction, and it brought Dane's character to a new direction, and it showed us that White Cloaks aren't all a-holes. So he served so many functions. He was perfection. Great character. Loved him, even though he was in not many scenes. Hopper was pretty good. Like Hopper. Like, I think show onlys probably cried at his death. I didn't cry because I know he still lives in Tel'aran'rhiod. We saw it, like, we saw him go up. And he will be back, so... Oh, but it was cool that they included him. I like the wolf. So they paid a wolf some cookies or some food, I don't know. Like, I liked Hopper. He was pretty good. Like, I like my doggo. Don't know what to say. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, whatever. It's, you know what I mean. So, Ingtar. Jesus freaking Christ, Ingtar. Where is he? Don't know why he switched with Shamal. Jesus Christ, what an asshole. Jesus Christ. This was my biggest gripe, I think. No, it was. Yeah, perhaps it was. I don't know. And I will talk about it here now. Or will I talk about it? No, I think I will talk about it here. Perhaps I will talk about it again with another character, but Ingtar should not have been in the show. And you are probably like, what, but you love him? Yes, but it didn't serve a purpose. Like, there was nothing about Ingtar in the show. He shouldn't have been there. Missema should have been the only one there. Ingtar had, like, one scene where he was a bit leader when they wrote, but they still made fun of him, so I didn't get the impression he was really the leader. He was just like a friend of Loial and Perrin. Didn't do anything. They gave us the middle finger with his little dialogue with I can hold the streak against 50, and his little outburst when Perrin wanted to save Gwen. Like, there was a middle finger for me to book readers because they were like, yeah, we know, but we don't care. So, like, should have not been here. Should have not been here. And I'm because that's the best thing. And I talked about it. His moment, his big moment, and you know how I reacted when I read it. I was so devastated. It was the most emotional moment in the books for me. And I knew they wouldn't live up to it. So I was like, yeah, they will do some shallow stuff. They didn't, like, and I was prepared for that, but they did not do anything. And the thing they did wrong, I think they really mishandled this in the show. The only thing they really, really mishandled, like the Moiraine stuff, we will get into that, but it wasn't really, like, I get some reasoning behind it, but the Hunt of the Horn was mishandled AF. Shouldn't have been in the show. Horn should not have been in the show if they did it like this. And it was mainly episode 1 and 2 who failed to set it up. And it was mainly Rand not being there. And we will get more into that when I talk about Rand, because this, like, is a symptom of something they did to Rand, which I hated. And yeah, so Ingtar's not a dark friend. You saw my reaction. I don't have to. And yeah, perhaps one more thing. Someone said, yeah, they didn't want to do the Barthana's reveal so close, so they didn't want to do 2 dark friend reveals. I say to that, A, you started with the dark friend meeting that was very weak for some reason, and you showed the Shienaran Lord. Like, what? So, like, at least do it. So they didn't, like, harken back to that. And it is exactly the difference to Barthana's. Barthana's stays a dark friend till his end. I guess here until he's imprisoned, but in the books till his death. And Ingtar doesn't. He changes. He goes back to the light, which is the most meaningful thing, and that's what I meant in my reaction when I was shouting. He's the most meaningful character in that he showed you can go back from your dark oaths. You can become a good man again. if you change your ways, if you see your mistakes, if you realize your flaws, you can come back to the light. And that as a theme is important. And it is such a big character moment. And that's why I said it's the most meaningful thing in book 2, because it tells you dark friends are not lost. You know? And that's like, that the argument doesn't fly at Barthanos. Yes, he was revealed as well. But that's the point of the freaking Dark Friend meeting. You introduce people that will be revealed to be Dark Friends. It's more like, guess who they were. Suroth was there, she was shown. Liandrin was revealed. Like, you could also argue, why reveal Liandrin? You know what I mean? Like, and the reveal was not the same. Barthanos was revealed to be evil. He was revealed to be once evil and changed. And I could do my own video about him. And I will one day when I'm finished with the show, the series. Because he's probably one of my favorite characters of the whole series currently. So anyway. Ishamael. Like, what am I supposed to say? What an awesome villain. Loved him so much. Actor, man, whoever you are. Don't know the names. I'm bad with names, but you nailed it. You nailed it so much. The way they did give him the motives was awesome. And you might criticize that he was too weak in the end, and I did. And I will say how I see it now. It is not in the show. It is how I interpret it in a willfully good. I don't know if that's the right term. Like that is something I learned in philosophy, and doing my university courses in philosophy. And I try to apply that. And sometimes I forget it when I'm mad, and I forgot it in the show when I reacted. Assume that the person has good intentions that's communicating to you. And in this here, I assume the showrunners had good intentions communicating to me something about Ishamael in the end when he died. Because he went out like a wimp. You know, I said that. And I stand by it. But I think it was like this, and I would have actually added 4 seconds to the scene where he dies, which would have completely made it okay what happened in the end. Also the power scaling and stuff for me. So when the shield drops and Rand goes forward, should have gone into slow motion, should have gone to Ishamael, and he should have suddenly smiled and be content and drop his arms. Because that's what, like, his plan backfired. He knew he wouldn't get him on his side. So he was like, you've got Balefire on your sword. And I assume it's Balefire. It's not stated headcanon, because otherwise it makes no sense that he dies from it and is erased. So I think Rand somehow imbued his sword with Balefire. Ishamael's sword, he was like, my plan failed, but I at least can achieve my own plan, like my own desires can be achieved now. Because the whole season he was like, I will do this for the world is suffering, I see the world suffering, I don't want to see the world suffering. And in the end he turned, he was like, I don't want to be alive again. I, Dark Friend, me. Brilliant writing, brilliant. So when he then lets himself get stabbed, which is what I assume he was, it was just not as well portrayed as it could have been, that's my headcanon. He was finally at peace because he was like, you know what? If he kills me now with Balefire, I will have achieved my goal for myself. I don't care about the world, really. Like, what do I care? I care for myself. So Balefire me, it's good. And then his dialogue also makes a lot more sense that he does when he's on the ground. Other than that, scheming perfect. I loved his acting. He was a smug a-hole. He trolled so much. Like, when he was like, yeah, why did you let Moraine leave? That's what Lanfear asked him. And he's like, why not? Like, I love that. What a great, great character. My favorite character of the show. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so my child was crying and I fed her, and yeah, she's now on my lap. So if you hear any weird noises from now on, I'm not alone anymore. So where was I? Yeah, Ishamael. We were done with Ishamael, I think. Awesome, perfection, best character in the show, I think. And yeah, Lan. Actually, I think Lan was really awesome. Like, Lan tried his best to ignore that Moraine was imposter Moraine. I loved him. Like, actor is brilliant. He acted like Lan almost all the time. By the way, I like show Lan more than book Lan, in the way that he's more emotive. And this is also a strength of the show, I think, that there are some book things they can do better in the show because they have the visual medium. Because in the books, Lan is always like, his face didn't change, but in his eyes I could see that he did this and felt that, and can't do that in a show. And he's more emotive, and I like him here. And he put up with Moiraine okayishly. He was a bit of a sheep, yes, but that's him. Like, he's honorable, and they basically wrote him like they would have written Lan in this situation, meaning he's a friend of Moiraine. It's just Moiraine was just a weird cow. So, but in the end, he really did a good thing. He held a lot of people on that beach. He caught the arrow. I'm a bit split on that one. Like, when he caught the arrow, yes, he's a warder. Yes, he's pretty powerful, but could he do that? I think there's a YouTube video by someone who tested if you can catch an arrow out of the air. And we have to keep in mind this is the future. So still same laws of physics for him. He's not a Superman. He's a normal human. Could he do that? Don't know. But there's not a lot to say about him. He was pretty awesome. I liked him. I enjoyed him. I enjoyed all his stuff. Just the people around him I didn't enjoy that much, actually. So he was not the problem here. If I had problems, so yeah. Lyanna existed. I mean, what it was, like, she was there. She got tricked by Verin, which was an awesome scene. And yeah. Actually, do I have Verin here? I think I added her later. I don't have Verin here. Wait a moment, I will add Verin. Okay, so now Verin will be next. Yeah, but Lyanna, yeah, she existed. She's pretty tall, I guess. She had like 4 lines. Don't know if she will be important down the line. I like that she's in the show. Like, it's like checking a mark of the character being there. Like, whatever. Like, she existed. Verin. Verin was awesome. I didn't like the first scenes with her that much because of the jokes, and some of her philosophies were a bit weird, and I don't know, I didn't like them. But when she started being detective, Verin, yeah, she should open an agency with Myrtle Detective, but she started to be really awesome. Loved the actress. Like, she showed that she was not dumb. She started investigating. I loved that. And she was very clever in the Lyanna scene. She was very well done. Just wished she would have been with Rand. That would have made my day a bit better, but it is what it is. She was pretty cool. Lews Therin, I guess he's fine. I don't know enough about him yet. Like, I cannot put him higher. Actor's cool. He sealed Shamael. I mean, cool as well, but why? Like, and he sealed him and expected no one to break him out. Okay, I said don't know, but he was fine. Like, what can I say? So Liandrin, yeah, Liandrin. So Liandrin is also perfection. Like, what can I say? We discussed Liandrin a lot. Brilliant addition. Actress nails it. She got a lot of nuanced stuff. It's a dark friend in the end. Layered character. Brilliant villain. Don't know what she's gonna do now that her son's dead, because I still don't get that. Like, because she did everything for him and now he's gone. Why? I think Lanfair just wanted to F with her because she was already on our side. That's my headcanon, but if there's a better explanation, tell me. Yeah, I know I should probably talk more about her, but I talked a lot in the episodes. I praised her a lot there. So yeah, she's just in, like, perfection, like, improved from the book so much. Loved her. Logain. Logain is pretty good, I think. He's pretty good. You will probably shout at me, why is he not higher? Because he didn't do anything. He didn't do anything. Acting was awesome, loved it. Loved every scene with him, but he didn't do anything. Like, all he did was tell Rand, embrace the source. It's too much. Like, other than that, like, I don't know. I would have loved him to be someone important in the plot. He was just there because the actor's there, I guess. I guess he will have something in the future. Possibly. In season 1, I would have put him in perfection. Here he was pretty good. Actor nailed it, of course he did. But in the end, he was not, like, he didn't do anything. He once wanted wine to give us shallow Desdemar, which I hated. It was shallow, I didn't like the Desdemar scene, should have done away with that. Because basically we got Desdemar a bit with Barthanas anyway in the end, so Anyway, like, so I hope you understand why I put him here and not higher. It's not the actor. It's because he was like, he was more high, like more smoke than substance. I don't know if that's a saying, but it is one in German. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. So I was too hyped, like I was very hyped about him and he did too little for that. So that's why I think he's so loyal. Well, that was pretty good. Like he sang once. He got Rand's dialogue to Ingtar. But man, he also, like, he wasn't even on the top of the tower in the end. I was mad at that. Like, for me, he belongs to the group. Because he's also their age mentally a bit. Like, I get the feeling from the books that he's like one of the group of friends. And here he's like, he sang once. I think he fought once. Had some fun with Ingtar, but should have gotten more. Like, they underuse him. I think it's the makeup. Don't know. Yes, he was pretty good. Like, he was good. Like, the tree singing was really cool scene. But other than that, he didn't do a lot. Like, I guess he got the horn from Lanfair. Told Ingtar to shut up, which, like, okay. Like if you're a book reader, you know what he did, but like, why? Like, it wasn't needed. It was weird, and it was a shallow hero speech he gave. Like, the speech itself was a good speech if you don't know the background, and yeah. Anyway, Masema was fine. I'm sorry, I don't like. I know he's probably going to be important with his zealous or something, but he was there. Like, he didn't even say a lot. He just looked at the camera sometimes. I guess they planted seeds with him for something in the future. Don't know what, but that's what Masema is. Now, you know what? I'm being unfair. He's here, but I'm being unfair to the others. So Masema was there. Like, I don't know. Matt. Oh God. Matt is why? Because all, like, this is the reverse to Egwene, basically. Episode 7 stuff was awesome. Episode 8 stuff was also pretty awesome as well. I don't know where they're going with him. I loved the flicker with him. I loved, you know what? Nah, he's not why. This is pretty good, I think. Nah, and you know what? He just, I don't know. Yeah, I think he was pretty good. You know, he was pretty good. I think they're going in different directions with him. People have commented that is not good for them. I can't judge that yet. Like, he has exhibited intelligence as he did in the books, other than when he was with snake people. He had this, am I gonna turn dark? They gave him this weird dark backstory. Fine, you know, but the actor nailed it. He did. He was not enough in the season. I think that was why I wanted to put him in. Why that's the reason. Like, because basically he wasn't in the season. Like, it was so dumb. They teleported him to Formi, like, in episode 7. And again, the hunt was the problem. Because he wasn't on the hunt. Should have been on the hunt. And you will say, yeah, but the actor left and they wrote him in to be in Tarvalon at the end of season 1. It was a bit stupid, but they had to do that now. But he should have been teleported to the hunt, been there, and they were all like, where are you from? And in the end, it just revealed Unfair did it. And then he would have been at the hunt. Because they teleported him to the plot anyway. Like, they should have done that sooner. This way, he dragged Min into this mess as well. I will get to it. Was dumb. Like, I said it in the reaction as well when they were in Carrion. I forgot he was in the show. I did, even though he had scenes. But he was just spouting nonsense with Liandrin being all mopey. Then he was linked to the dagger, then he wasn't. That was not clearly portrayed. They really let him down in the first 6 episodes. They really let him down. You know what? They let him down so much, I will put him in Y. Like, I loved him in the last 2 episodes. I know people say he's not, like, in the books, but I can't judge that yet. So bear that in mind before you shout at me in the comments. So for me, it was pretty, like, he was just why because of the start of the season. Like, he did do nothing. He was teleported randomly to the plot. So that's my mad thing. And like now he has the dagger. Is he still linked to it? Did they break it? I thought they broke that. No, he's still going for the dagger. Now he's got a lance. Liked quarter stuff fighting. Again, fighting choreography was great. Horn felt shallow and unprepared. Like, it came off as this moment he realizes he's a hero, but that fell flat for me. I'm sorry. Perhaps, I don't know. Because I have to be honest, I don't know where they were going with him. Like episode 7, I thought they were setting him up like, and he would be a bad person down the line. I don't know if he will turn evil. It was teased in the Flicker world that he turned evil in some parallel worlds. So I don't know what they're doing. So can't tell, but I think why, yeah. Like, he would have been pretty good in the last episodes. He wouldn't have been awesome even, like, because he did too little. But because he wasted so much screen time basically with Min, that I have to put him in Y. Min is Y. Man, the actress is so good. And this, again, it is the same criticism I have as with Egwene, this friendship theme that she was missing so badly. She kind of had a friendship with Matt, and in the end it was shown that she was a friend of his because she chose to tell him the truth, but her scenes with Elaine and Nynaeve and Egwene were missing. Like, they was missing this wholesome friendship they had, and Min being there for Egwene as well. Again, it's this Egwene thing that she's the most powerful, which they did. The theme they had for her did not allow Min to be there to help her and support her, and that effed Min's character by proxy. So I liked Min. I also kind of like that they do the visions more horrifying in the show. Like, of course they do. They're a bit more gritty. But again, they failed her as having this theme of she's the friend of them. And she protected Egwene and tried to look out for her when she was with the Seanchan. That was missing, and that's why I put her in Y. Like, I get that she wants to get rid of her powers. Perhaps that's a later storyline. If it's not, it's still a fine motive. Like, I got her motives here. And she was, her themes were great. She wanted to get rid of it and decided against it. So she basically got Ingtar. Like, she wasn't a perfect, like, now that I realized she got the Ingtar reveal of, I'm gonna turn good and decide what's good, was a lot less powerful for me though. So, I don't know. Min is, so sad. I love the actress. She's doing a good job. This one, I think she's called Moghedien, existed. What am I supposed to say? I feel people loved her acting. Like, she was weird with his slowly or something she said. I loved that. It was actually pretty cool, but the problem, they maneuvered themselves into the situation at the end of the season where I did not take the Forsaken serious anymore. And it was because Lanfear is now on our side, which I don't know if that stays that way, but it was like that. And Ishamael came off as very weak in the last battle, and I still had this impression of him being weak. And that's why I said I would have loved for them to put in this scene where he deliberately lets himself get stabbed. That would have solved that. That would have solved a lot of things here. That would have made this character scarier. Because now I think, they can just stab them. Like, just run up to them, stab them, or throw a spear at them. Like Matt tried. Just try that. I mean, they are just 5. You, disposed of 2 easily. Kinda like Lanfear didn't even need to be disposed of. Like, she was talk no jutsu, so to speak. She wasn't even that. Like, it was her character. She was we will get to a well-built character, so made sense for her to turn, I guess. For me, it made sense. And Ishamael also made sense, but now we've got 5 left, and apparently Rand without training with the stabby glow sword can kill them, so the Forsaken were, the idea of Forsaken was mishandled in the show for me, really mishandled. The characters themselves were awesome though, so that's a very weird place I'm in with that. Moraine. Yeah, when I did this, I wanted to split it between, she's the biggest Y. Because Moraine, The scene on the beach where she says, I don't care if 1,000 people die as long as Rand lives, that's the Moiraine I wanted. And I was considering splitting Imposter Moiraine, so Moraine's episode 1 to 6 to 7 and episode 8 Moiraine. I wanted to split them. But then in episode 8 there was still some Bond shit. And yeah, so to be fair, so I will not consider the 1,000 dead so Rand can live Moiraine. That one will be part of season 3 for me now. That's how I solve this little problem. But other than that, why? I get what they were going for. They wanted to show Moiraine be out of her depths, but they didn't show her mastering that. She was a cow all the time. She antagonized people all the time, and she learned nothing in the end. They told her, yeah, you have to trust us now and stuff, but then she didn't trust them again. Okay, I guess she trusted Lan with protecting her then on the beach, but that was really, like, she did things that were unspeakable. The way, like, and I thought about it again, and like her putting the bond on Elena. Apparently she did that. At least she didn't have it anymore. Like, what happened there, I still don't understand it. Anyway, that is like creating a Damane for me. Like, she enslaved him to someone. It's basically putting Lan as, like, creating, like, treating Lan as a Damane. And she got nothing in return. Like, no one told her to F off for that. Like, Swan did, like, that's not good what you did, but that was such a, like, they did not make a deal out of it. It was such a big deal for me. The deal breaker, like, address that. Like, she did that. Just don't brush it off because Lan's like, I understand you are more important. Like, no. She enslaved you, basically. Like, she disregarded you as a human. Even though she apparently was written to have good intentions, still wasn't brought up again. That felt so flat for me. I loved her Barthana's interaction, though. That was okay. And if I didn't know this character, if I was introduced to someone who was stilled, or thought she was stilled, and did what she did, I get it. But it was Moiraine. We saw her in season 1. That's why it was weird. And again, I will tell you now again, and I told you before, I would have done it like this. I would have never let her lose her powers, and they still could have done almost exactly one-to-one what they did here in this season. The only change that would have happened is the first 2 or 3 episodes where she was with the women. She should have been looking for the balefire there. She should have learned it or tried to learn it, not master it. And that should have been her arc for these first 3 episodes. Then she should have sent Lan for the prophecy and gone to Carrion and done this thing with her sister. She also should have attacked Lanfair, but with the unfinished balefire, which would have caught her off guard, which would have really hurt her, perhaps, and which would have meant that she needed time to heal. I thought that was weird as well. And then we could have had, like everything would have been the same almost. You know, so I don't really like that. Like, because, yeah, it wasted so much screen time. And we got nothing in the end. We are back where we were in season 1 with those two. Apparently they wanted me to believe that they didn't have each other's back until then. What? I saw season 1. You can't tell me that. Anyway, Moiraine over, I think. It's such a shame. Rosamund Pike did awesome acting, though. Awesome acting. And she did her best. And she was such a cow, Moiraine. And I'm so... and why I'm still okay with it is, yes, she's back to being Moiraine, apparently, with her speech on the beach. Like, that was Moiraine back again. I was so glad. So, Nynaeve. Also, why? Well, you know what? Hard. I think it's why. Because Archers was great. Archers was brilliant with Nynaeve. Loved the twist. Brilliant writing, I thought. That was very good. But man, it amounted to nothing this season. Like, because they took away her saving a Gwen, and her judging Rhaena, which was both things that were very important for a character, I felt. And that was her thing. She was the voice of reason, the wisdom that Egwene looked up to, that could tell her, Egwene, stop. What you are doing right now, yes, you think it's justified that you want to end her, but think, is this what we do? Do you want to like go to her level? And in a way, they made it worse by making her Damane, but that was such a powerful scene. And here what did she do? She went through the arches, even though she didn't channel. Then she channeled in the arches for some reason. Went out. She had conversations with Liandrin because she's apparently very strong. But we did not see anything that like that in the season. And then she just ran to Formi randomly. Like, she heard that Perrin was there. Fine. But she went there without a plan. Like, she had made no thoughts about that. She just ran there, which is in character in the show. It is in character. But she just ran there. And then she was like, oh God, what am I doing now? Which is like also in character. Like, it's kind of good writing, like, because you want to portray her as too out of her depths. And I get that, like, it fit. Like, that's why as well here, I think show only I would have been fine, though I would have loved for her to do something in the end. Something. Did do nothing. Like, even the collar thing where she collared Seta, like, led nowhere. Like, why was that even in there? Like, she was really mean to Seta. Like, she was a lot more emotional and angry than I thought she would be, because she was more like disgusted at the whole thing in the books. And again, it kind of fit her character here, but I don't know. And then the end, she couldn't even, like, she pushed the arrow through, which is like, you shouldn't do that. Like, God, I thought she was a medic at least. And then she somehow got Elaine up and did nothing. Like, she did do nothing in the final battle. She shouldn't have been in the season, actually. Like they should have come with them. Like, what did she even do? Archers was brilliant, but she fell flat. Though at least her character was written consistently. I have to agree on that. Like, she was like this out of her depth, headstrong woman, but that's not like, she's the main character. Come on, at least give her some resolution at the end of the season. Probably will do that later anyway. Padan Fain. It was fine. Like, he was fun. He was in one scene. He was also in two less scenes. Like, not enough scenes for me. I love the actor. He's fun, but in the end, all he did was carry the horn towards Turak and then have his little mad moment where he just ran away. He hammed it up. I loved him, but he wasn't the character. He was a MacGuffin, basically. I don't know. It's like he didn't do a lot. Like, I don't know who he is. Like, he's being that's how he is, but I didn't learn anything, and at this point in the books I already know how conflicted and overtaken by more death he is. So they didn't do that. I don't know anything. Perrin is like, yeah, I think Perrin is here. Perrin was, like I said it already, there's nothing bad I can say about Perrin. Brilliant. I liked the writing. I liked how they handled his arc. I liked how they changed it. It's just, I said it a lot already, what I think of Perrin, and that's all I want to say about him. Like, praise be there. Like, brilliant stuff. Loved him. Rand. Let's do it like that. Rand wasn't a character this season. He was a bit. I'm exaggerating a bit. But Rand was the thing that really, I think, I don't know if I said before that Ingtide beat me off the most, but Rand did. Rand was just a plot device in the end. The first 6 episodes he did nothing. Just ran around. Like, tried to not get mad while channeling, but didn't really do that. He had the Selene subplot, which, like, okay, it was just, hey, by the way, in this world there are 2 random people who like each other. And then when the reveal came, he became like, he ran away again for an episode. Then he got told by Lanfear what to do a bit. Then finally I thought they had it. He wanted to save Gwen. And then he, like, did the Turak thing, which I think was good in the show. I liked that it was funny. It was like the Indiana Jones thing. It was like it worked in the show pretty well. Like I would have laughed my ass off if I was shown. I would have loved that. It was good scene, but again, as a book reader, for me that the sword fight was missing. But because they wasted so much with Rand doing random bullshit, they missed out on the core of the book. So let me put it like this. We now are at the end of the season. We have Rand standing on the tower. He doesn't know how to lead. He doesn't know how to channel. And he doesn't know how to sword fight. He doesn't know anything. He's done nothing in the season. Nothing. No, nada. Nothing. And him not being on the hunt is the biggest crime of season 2. Stupidest thing. And when I was raging about Hurin being cut, almost everyone said to me, he wasn't important. F that. F that, no. He was, and I argued, he was important for Rand's journey. And everyone was like, yeah, Rand will get his journey, don't worry. Like, he will go there later episodes probably. No. Rand did get nothing. No agency, nothing. The only agency he had was when he said like, hey Lanfear, I want you to get me to, I want to see Gwen. And then he went there. That was the only agency in the season he had. Like, he was bound half the final fight, stepped forward when like probably Shamil wanted to die. Like, he didn't do anything. So let's talk about those 3 things. The agencies that, or the things, his themes that were cut by him not being on the hunt. First, the hunt is made so that Rand stops being a farmer, starts seeing himself as a leader. That's the whole point of the hunt. The hunt is not for finding the Horn of Valir, like in the books. Like, that's what it appears to be. But in its core, the hunt is Rand coming to terms with being a leader, seeing that as a possibility, seeing that he might not be just a farmer, seeing that he has talent for it. And so basically, Rand starts out on the hunt. And he's like, Ingtar tells him, you're second in command. That's what Egelmar said. And Rand's like, what? I'm a shepherd. What are you talking about? But he has the sword. And I will get to the sword fighting. But then the situation comes where Hurin and him and Loial are stranded in God knows where. And Hurin is there to be his underling. Like subject, so to speak, his test. Like, he's running a test on how to be a leader. And he thinks about stuff with Hurin, and he could have talked about it in the show. And he could have tried to understand what it means. Like, what are the consequences? Like, if I tell you to do this and this happens, it's my fault. He realizes that being a leader is a burden and heavy. That's what Hurin's for. Hurin is the side of how to be with your subjects. And he learns through Hurin to be a good leader because he sees what he can do, what his responsibilities are, how people react to him that like him, that and look up to him. And then there is Selene. I will get to her in a moment because, man, then there's Selene as well on the hunt. Why is she on the hunt? Selene is there to tempt Rand to be a bad leader. Hurin is there to tempt him to be a good leader, so to speak, or make him train that. And Selene is there to tempt him to go the easy way, to take the power, to take the glory, to not think about it, to take the girl that he can just randomly have, to kiss her, to be with her. And those two stand with Rand in this weird world where Rand doesn't know if he's a leader. And through interacting with them, through traveling with them, he learns to be a leader. And they cut it. So now we have a dragon that's not a leader. F you. So, first thing. And to all of you who said Hurin is not important, you did not understand that part. I'm sorry. I don't, this is something, I hate people saying that because I think it's condescending. It is a bit, and I'm sorry. Really sorry, but it's just, I really think if you did not understand that Hurin and Selene were there to make Rand, try to be a leader and develop his character, I guess, okay. Fine, whatever. I mean, if you disagree, tell me in the comments why you disagree with it. I'm not arguing that Hurin's going to be important after book 2. No, he's not. But he was central to the hunt. As was Selene. Oh god, Anyway. Second thing, sword fighting. Rand learned sword fighting here from Errol, which was okay. But in the books, He trained again and again. He trained the whole book one with Lan all the time. He got effed in the, all the time. The book even starts with him failing against Lan again and again, getting bruises everywhere, training. And when he's on the hunt and he doesn't know what to do, and he wants to think, he trains. He's doing his best to learn sword fighting. And he has that as well because he knows he's the dragon. He has the sword fighting to get him away from the power. But the twist then is that the sword fighting also is being drawing in the power. That's why he wins against Turak. And also because of Flicker. But, I will get into that a bit as well. But, it's like sword fighting is such an important core to Rand's character. And also the Heron sword, again, is the leader thing. They think he's skillful and he thinks he's not. And he's to prove that he is what they think he is. And to be a good man. That's his point on the hunt. That's why Rand's on the hunt. The hunt is about Rand. And the third thing, the Turak thing. People have said in the comments, and I get it to some extent, Rand is a Mary Sue. He is can do anything. And he's just effing up Turak with the sword fight. Made no sense in the books. I'm paraphrasing and I'm strawmanning a bit to be able to better address it. So the argument I did just say was a strawman. I want to make that clear. So don't shout at me. I don't try to misrepresent it. I just want to paint the worst picture you could paint of Rand in the book. To address it. I hope you understand. So, and then the thing is, why does he win? There's a logical point in the books. He wins because he has the Flicker memories. And he's got Lews Therin coming through. Those are the two reasons I saw. And he wins when he embraces the source. And when he takes the sword fighting he can, and he embraces the source. And through embracing the source, he connects back a bit to Lews Therin, this bit fan interpretation here. And also he starts to siphon off the one power. And gets used to it again and gets into this flow and starts to be a better sword fighter. And he struggles against Turak. He's not a Mary Sue, he gets cut. And he gets bruises and everything. He just doesn't, it's not he just does it. He trains and works so hard for it. And he uses sword fighting as thinking, a method of thinking, of meditating. What you do with martial arts in general. I did martial arts. I did that as well. You can think when you do these movements. And that's what Rand does. All missing here. The end, he's up. And then he doesn't get the battle in the sky. He just steps Ishamael. He doesn't do anything in the end battle. He just moves forward. And Ishamael already gave up there. Can't tell me he didn't. So, or he was weak AF. Which I refuse to believe. He gave up. Ishamael was and this is again my interpretation of this, it was not conveyed like that, I think, but I want to interpret it in a positive way, what they tried to show. Ishamael gave up. He was okay, if you end me with that sword now, at least I'm gone. I don't care about you really, I just care about me in the end, so, So Ishamael didn't really fight him there, so all Rand did was stab him. It was saved by everyone, in a moment where the friendship theme suddenly comes in that scene and we're supposed to feel something for it. I didn't get that, sorry. What? It was so hollow, all of it. And Battle in the Sky, all of you said, I agree that the dragon being there is better than in the books. All people seeing him is a bit weird. They would have had to be really creative to show that in a way that made sense, I agree. Still, he could have fought him. And then after he beat him and they're back on the tower, then the dragon could have appeared. But I think him sword fighting Ishamael, again the sword fighting is his method of being calm and thinking and being calculating. And then the one power bleeding in. Suddenly his sword starts to glow. He incorporates the one power. He becomes, at least in part, the dragon he refused to be until that point. That's would have been awesome. They didn't do that again. In the end, he just stands on the top, did nothing, just step one step forward. So that's why he's not a character. He was a bit of a character, he had an emotion to Egwene being, but I'm really mad that they butchered it because he was not on the hunt, so the hunt shouldn't have been there. My point is, the hunt is there for Rand. It's not that the hunt is something that has to happen in the book. it is about Rand being on the hunt to develop his character. So him not being on the hunt is useless. You don't need it. So anyway, who's this? Oh yes, Senna. Senna? Yeah, I think it is. About here. Man, brilliant. No, actually, you know what? She's here. She's my second favorite character this season because I hate her. She was done well. She wasn't like she was evil, but she was evil from the perspective of us, from people that think being free is more important than winning in the end this battle of the darkness. Because the writing with Rhaena was impeccably good until the last moments. Impeccably good. So they painted her as this girl. She's grown up in this culture that for 1,000 years thinks channels should be chained and used. So at least we have some chance against the Dark One and they don't blow us up. And she finally has the opportunity to be part of that, to be part of the fight against the Dark One, which she hates. And she wants to bring the world peace and light. And she's chosen for that. She's chosen to go on this journey to get new people to use as weapons, which is sick. But she's also like, man, I will just look at it like a friendship. I know it's like kind of naughty is. Like whoever I get, they will be under me, but I will try my best to at least make it a little bit comfortable. But still they're below me and I know that I'm more powerful and that's how it should be. So we win this war against the dark. So she becomes corrupt to fight the corruption. Like her choice is to disregard freedom of an individual to win in the end, which is basically like saying the ends justify the means, like, you know. And she's like in this culture, and then she gets Gwen, she breaks her, and she's like, I kind of like, yes, that's what I do. I'm good at this, so I break her. It's like we do, but she's still like, then she's like, you know, I still want her to understand it. And that's so perverse. It's so weird. I hated that scene. Like, it was good. So good. So the cup scene I talked about that, like, she broke her and deported to show her that she's nothing. But she wants to do that to have Egwene as the best tool she can have. And seeing Egwene as a tool is the bad thing, but the idea of I need a good tool to fight the Dark One is good. So like there's this perverse, very dynamic there, and the actress nailed it so much. And then she doesn't understand Egwene's actions when Egwene is like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm my own person. She doesn't understand it. So doesn't understand it. In the end, she's weaker than Egwene. And I guess that I also like that in the end. Like, they did it like Egwene's willpower was more than hers, so she dies. So she was not strong enough. Didn't like it. I would have liked it more if she was a Damana, but that still fit a bit. Like, I loved Rhaena. She was probably the most nuanced character in Wheel of Time. The most layered, nuanced. Also, the criticisms there are about cultures. Like, I will not take a position here because it's probably gonna, like, the comments are gonna, like, be, I don't know. But the thing is every culture as valuable as the other? Or, like, as right as the other? Like, valuable, perhaps. Yeah, perhaps if you say, like what does make a culture good? Like, that's the question here. Is a culture a good culture if you can beat the darkness that is gonna come for you? Or is a culture a good culture if you uphold your humanity and your freedom? And which one should you choose? Because you could make the argument that yes, it is better to be Seanchan culture because then you can better beat the Dark One because you've got more power against him. And if you need that power and not something else we don't know yet, like friendship or something, but might come up, I don't know. I'm not there yet, but might come up. But if you just need power, the Seanchan way is the better way, because then you beat the Dark One, he's gone, or it is gone, and then you still have this corrupt culture, but that can just fall with time, because every corrupt culture falls with time. Then you can build a new one. So wouldn't that even be the better way? Like, in the long run? Not for the people currently there. Like, the questions there are so many questions. So many good questions it raises. And that they teased that even was wow. And in today's time where they want to be safe with everything, that's controversial stuff, actually. So anyway, Rhaima was awesome. I will put Rhaima very high. Rhaima was an edition I loved. My favorite edition. I like it even more than Logain being added in season 1 because it made so much more sense. And I'm sad that they undermined it with her sacrifice being for nothing because Elaine and Nynaeve didn't do anything after that. But in principle, if they would have gone with the book stuff, she would have been in perfection. This is just awesome because she didn't matter in the end, actually. It's so harsh. Also, where is she? She's still in the kennels. Are they gonna free her? Did she somehow get taken by the Seanchan in the end? Or what happened? I don't know. But I loved her. It was so cool. So cool to see. Like, what an awesome addition to the show. This is... Oh, Lanfear. Like, let's do it like this. Let's do Selene first. So, Selene. Selene. Why? I have to put Selene in why. I know I'll probably get heat for that. And this is also something I would have loved to talk to you about. But it's basically the same point I'm making for Hurin being gone. Selene didn't fulfill the role she fulfilled in the book. So Selene was just Lanfear playing some game here, which I didn't, like, it made no sense. Like, what did she even want? If she wanted to get Rand on her side, she could have done that with talking. She did in the end, and she was on his side. So the Selene part felt like, why? Did you just want to have some fun in the books here? In the show here? I just don't know why. If someone can explain why she was there, why she was a random innkeeper, and, like, I just don't know. Like, the acting was okay, but the scenes also really dragged. They were just like two lovebirds talking. And I consider the horse scene still Selene a bit, because I want to put Lanfear somewhere special, you know where, you see it in a moment, but because the horse scene also, like, again, they mishandle the power scaling of the Forsaken there, so that's still Selene, the one that shuts the woman's mouth. It's still Selene, so Selene was why. Like, I got some glimpses of her, and I saw the criticism in the book that she was so shallow and obvious. But for me, that was the point again with the Hurin-Selene dynamic. And I would argue, I could have said this without watching the episodes because Hurin was not there. Selene could have still been a cool character though, but that got lost for me as a book reader here. Like, the Selene-Hurin dynamic, completely lost. And like, they tried to just make her a random chick he picked up, what? And then she was evil suddenly. Yeah. Lanfear is like, wow, Jesus Christ, loved her. Loved Lanfear. Like, when she finally started being Lanfear, man, awesome. Awesome casting, awesome dialogue. She was just trolling. She was powerful. She did what I wanted. She betrayed Shamil, which I thought in the books was also implied she wanted to do that. I loved everything about Lanfear. Like, we will not consider Horse a girl, Lanfear, that's still Selene. So the moment she had this weird outfit with the moons, that was Lanfear. I loved it. She grew a brain suddenly, so to speak. Like, everything she did was calculated, cunning, exactly what I wanted to be. Actress nailed it, of course, again, but I don't need to say that every time. And Lanfear was just perfection. Like, so good. Love Lanfear. Favorite book characters, I said currently, so. Seta. Seta, why? Yeah, Seta's a bit why. Like, she randomly appeared, she randomly got captured. Like, they didn't even do anything with her. She just pleaded, like, once. And Nynaeve was once angry. It led nowhere because they didn't save Egwene. And because she didn't give the exposition of the colors not working, or colors working for the Sultan. That also got lost from her because that was her job, I think, in part. And so, like, she was useless. What a useless character. Actress was, again, fine. Great actress, but why? Why? Sheriam, fine. Liked the actress, good casting, but she didn't do enough. She was just high and mighty in her chair, and can't say a lot about her. Swan. Swan was, I think, about here. Man, I loved Swan in this season. I heard many people cried at the Moraine Swan scenes. I did not, because I was at that point analytical in my mind, and sometimes I am that, and then I don't have that many emotions like crying, I think. Like I didn't get swept away by it because it was set up pretty obviously, and I thought it was set up to bring in the prophecy again, and it was not the character work. So I didn't pay that much attention. And it was just because I think they might get together again. It wasn't that tragic, it was a bit too cliche, but all in all, Swan, brilliant. Like, brilliant adaptation. Loved her, the actress as well, but man, it was so much fun. I like that she's against Moiraine now, that made so much sense as well. That's a tension I needed as well between them. Like, it was set up in season 1, this situation, again, brilliant writing there, and Swan, awesome. Like, I shed on her a bit in season 1 because I think Swan herself is like being too full of herself, but they know that and they showed that here again when she like was just rough and stomped by Lanfear. Loved that. Like it showed it. Like it's her character flaw. It's not bad writing, it's her character flaw. I like that. It's good writing. Good writing with Swan. Everything great. So, Suroth. Suroth was awesome. They hated her. So that's all there is. Actually, it's just actual perfection, I think. Like, Suroth, man, what an A-bag. I hated her in the books, I hated her in the show, with the passion. Most hated character in the show. I hate her even more than Senna, because I understand Senna a bit. It's, like, I know it's hard, like, saying that is like, what the frick, but, like Senna was very layered, and she was just a, yeah. Senna was just like, Suroth was just like, being mean, she disregarded her culture so much, and then she was just a mean bee to be there to be a mean bee. Like, she was like the Cersei of the season. I loved her. A bit like that. It was brilliant. Thomas was existed. I don't know why I put him here, because I talked about him once or twice. Kind of liked him, actor was cool, but like he had 2 lines. Gonna get into that. Turok was pretty good. He would have been awesome if you didn't get Ruffle, Stomp, Indiana Jones by Rand. I guess they didn't know how to end him, really. So they had a funny scene in the end, I guess. But actor was also, again, like, cool dialogue. I liked a lot that he cared for the Horn more than in the book. That also made sense. Bit weird that he listened to Ishamael. But yeah, Turok was a pretty good adaptation, cool character. Like, did some machinations to move the plot forward as well. Also great costumes, loved them. Uno was fine, I think. His death was random, I didn't like it. I like that he was with the heroes. People have told me they don't like it. I don't know why. I hope you can give me your... Perhaps it's book spoils and don't give me your opinion on why, but... It was cool. I liked him. I liked him giving the shield to Perrin. People have said, why can Perrin block stuff with the shield? It was Uno's immortal shield. I don't know, like, he gave it to him. It made sense to me. At first I was also like, why? But it made sense. Like that. And he was with Perrin, he befriended Perrin, so it also made sense that he gave it to him. I don't know, he was fine. His death was too random. But, yeah. Yeah. That's the characters. I hope I didn't forget anyone. So all in all, pretty awesome. Like, many good characters. Like, the weight is more on the top than on the bottom. And unfortunately, many main characters are on why. So Len and Perrin Lane are the main characters where I am like, they really did them justice. They, like, Rand, they failed beyond failing. Moiraine, imposter Moiraine, I don't know. They had to put her in and didn't know a better way of putting her in. Egwene, Mad, Min, Nynaeve. Yeah, what can I say? I made my points. If you disagree, of course, tell me why, but... That was my tier list. So now now we analyzed everything, and I think the review is pretty much in its last phase now. I will now read some comments and answer to them because I thought there is some more stuff. So let's see what I want to address as well. I would have loved to do it in the chat, but yeah, I can't. So let's see. Okay, so I'm at the comments now, so let me actually see if there was something. Like, I answered some of them, but perhaps I want to, there are things I want to re-elaborate here. So all in all, great season, but 1 or 2 mistakes I saw. And again, as a show only, I think most of the stuff made sense. But I'm a book reader. I just am a book reader now. Not completely through yet, but that's where I'm from. So, yeah, I think I've touched on everything that people said, and my daughter's getting hungry now, I think. And yeah, so I still hope you enjoyed this review. So I guess there were book spoilers, but who cares? You saw the show, so your father. Oh yes, season 3 speculations. But I said that as well a bit. Like, I think Tyr will be the opening. They will lay siege to it, and then they will go to Ruidian, split up for some reason. Don't know what the girls will do because they're not friends. Perhaps they will start being friends now. Yeah, I don't know. But there's not a lot for season 3. I hope Fail will come in because they nail Perrin, so they will probably nail that as well. Tel'aran'rhiod should be in it more. Apparently Moghedien or whatever she's called is now free. I don't know what she's even doing. I'm not there yet in the book, so I can't wait for that. Actually sounds like fun. So I guess we'll see what happens there. I don't know where Samael is. I think Samael is in Caemlyn, so we might get to Caemlyn. I hope we get to Caemlyn. Hope Tom is back. He might be back in Caemlyn though. Yeah, that's pretty much all I want. Also, Moiraine's normal now. I want Rand to finally start being a character more, and to have an arc and develop into a dragon leader. But other than that, I hope you enjoyed this review. And as always, consider liking, subscribing, and comment on what you thought. Also, some people have asked me to do collaborations with others. I don't know how to do that. So I probably, I have no idea how to do that. I would love to talk to other people about Wheel of Time, but I'm too inept to do you contact them? I just don't know. I might find a way to do it later, but yeah, she's hungry. Yeah. Anyway, that's a weird way to end it. But I hope you had some fun. And please, again, tell me what you agreed with, disagreed with. I'm so sorry the live stream didn't work. Would have loved to discuss all of it with you, but my internet is shit, my computer's shit. I don't know what it was. And I still hope you had a great day. Have a great day, and see you for the reading again after I finished recording One Piece, I guess. So perhaps next week or the week after. Yeah, you will get surprised by the new chapter one day. You will not expect it, and then it's there anyway. Take care of yourself as always, and see you soon. Bye.